Mic check, mic check, mic check, mic check. Can you hear me out there? Alright, yeah, you can hear me. Alright, let's go. Welcome to another edition of the Dojo Talk podcast. I'm your host, Serial Sensei. This is not a numbered episode, but you can listen to this podcast on SoundCloud, Spotify, YouTube, Google Play, Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen to your podcasts at. I'm most likely there. That's about the end of the intro because this is not a normal episode. Normally, I would come in here and me and the Anti-Cool would talk about combat sports, but I'm rolling solo and I'm not talking about fights because there's nobody really in the world getting punched or kicked in the face inside of a ring or an octagon, so I can't really talk about that. And real quick, on a note of fighting, for one, UFC 249, we gotta let that go, guys. It's not real. It's not happening. Ain't nobody fighting no time soon, bruh. You better get on Fight Pass, and you just better watch every fight that has ever happened in the history of the world up to now, because we ain't getting no more fights, bruh. We gotta stop holding on to this dream, man. It's not happening, bro. It's not happening. But before I get to the crux of what this episode is going to be, in regards to this podcast and fighting and things of that nature, we did do a podcast covering the last UFC card, which was the UFC Brasilia, Kevin Lee versus Charles do Bronx Oliveira. So if you would like to go give that a listen, go give that a listen. You can check that out on SoundCloud as well as all of the other platforms that I mentioned. And we wanted to keep some content going while people are on lockdown and in this quarantine, trying to do some creative things. So actually what we're going to do Saturday, and at the time you're hearing this, or at the time I'm recording this, it is March 31st, 2020, 6:25 p.m. So this Saturday from now, we will be doing a live stream. At this point, I'm not sure what we're streaming yet because the poll is still up to vote. If you follow me on Twitter at Serial Sensei, you can vote on the poll. You have one more day to do so. We are going to stream some fights via my Twitch channel, which you can follow me on twitch.tv/Serial Sensei. You can find me on there. And since there are no fights really going on in the world, we're going to stream fights on Twitch. The options to choose if you want to vote, we're either going to show the 1999 K1 Grand Prix. The second option is a mix of MMA, kickboxing, and boxing fights. And the third option is a free-for-all. If you want something else entirely, just tell me what you want. If it gets enough votes, maybe we'll do it. But as of right now, the 1999 K1 Grand Prix is in the lead. It's looking like that's probably what's going to happen. But either way, no matter what we vote on, if you just want to watch some fights because you just need a fix, follow me on Twitch. We're gonna watch fights. We did a test stream last week and it went really well, man. We had thanks for everybody who showed up and came through. We had a really good time just watching just random fights on YouTube, and a little bit of MMA, a little bit of boxing, a little bit of kickboxing. So we're gonna try to make this a regular thing just to keep some content out there to fill the void because there are no fights going on. So at least in some shape or form, you can watch people get punched and kicked in the face, even if it was at an event that happened, like a decade ago. But yeah, so that'll be a thing. So follow me on Twitch at Serial Sensei, so you can check that out when we go live. I'll post on social media when we do. It'll probably be Saturday evening at some point. But that's that. That's the only fight talk I really have. Like I said, rolling solo. This is an informal episode, so I'm just going to kind of ramble a little bit. But I had an idea in mind of what I did want to come in here to talk about. So, I mean, as everybody knows, little Corona came through, shut it down, shut everybody down. If you're listening to this, I'm positive that you are or should be under some kind of quarantine or lockdown situation. Can't really leave the house unless you're doing, something essential, getting groceries, going to the hospital, things of that nature. Can't go out to the movies, can't really go out to eat. No gatherings and parties. You better not be going to gatherings and parties. Go chill out somewhere, sit in the corner, read a book or something. But I just wanted to come in and talk about this, I guess, from the perspective of creators who find themselves kind of locked in and unable to go outside or unable to really do anything. Like, a lot of us we're just kind of stuck. It's you, whatever you got at home, and four walls, and you just kind of got to make do with what you got. And I've seen this, I don't call it an argument, yeah, I don't know, argument, debate, whatever you want to call it, via social media, about whether or not, as a creative, should you use this time to, you know, you got to go hard, you got to create. We're on a lockdown. This is the time you can write 80 books and you know, work on all those projects you did. You got to write. You got to go. And then on the other, you know, side of the spectrum, it's, you know, I don't want to write. I just want to do nothing. I just want to, you know, I got to take care of my mental health. I can't work myself to death. I got to just chill out and relax. And, you know, I don't want to work. And I've seen this debate back and forth, and social media will have you believe that two things at the same time can't be true. And I'm here to tell you that, guys, both of those answers are right. This isn't an either or situation. You can kind of do both. Now, I'm not saying, listen, if you're somebody who likes working all the time, have a blast. I'm not telling you can't do it. If you're somebody who just kind of just wants to chill out, hey man, have a blast. I'm not here to tell you what you can and what you can't do. I'm just here to offer some suggestions. And I know I said this is mainly aimed at creatives and people who, you know, create some kind of content of some sort, whether it be, you know, you work on music, you work on writing, photography, I don't know, whatever it is you tend to work on when you're in the house. But this can kind of apply to anybody, really. But yeah, so I was just here to say that both of those things can be true. I think the key to get through this quarantine, this lockdown, this whole situation with Corona, is you gotta find a balance, man. You gotta find a nice middle ground. It's weird because even for people like myself who are normally introverts and don't really go out all that much, coronavirus hasn't changed too much of my day-to-day life. The only thing that does kind of suck, which I thought was funny, coronavirus for me came at a very interesting time. I just started recently going to therapy late last year or early this year. I want to say early this year. And I remember in the beginning of my therapy, I was telling my therapist that, you know, this year I'll make more of an effort to get out a little bit more, go see some different places, do some different things. And I actually made strides in that. I went out to Baltimore Comic-Con this year. I went to a car show this year. I took more than plenty food adventures, which I love doing. That was great. Right when I was finally starting to get out and actually do stuff, little Corona came through and was like, nah, bruh, back in the house. And I was like, oh, come on, man. I was just starting to enjoy myself, and coronavirus said, no, you have to go back in the house now. And so, yeah, I had to go back in the house, back here. But now that I am here, like many of you are, like I said, the question is, how do we deal with the time? Because now, more than ever, and I think even regardless of your situation, hopefully some of you are fortunate enough to still be able to have some form of income coming in. If you can still work from home. I know I'm working from home. It's not the greatest, to be honest. It ain't all it's cooked up to be. But I am thankful that I'm able to still work in some capacity and still be able to make money, even though I can't really go out and spend it because I can't go nowhere. But nonetheless, fortunate and blessed to be at least have some income coming in. Some people, unfortunately, aren't so lucky. Some people have gotten laid off, may not know where the next check is coming from, and it's rough. It's rough. And no matter which side of that coin you fall on, a lot of us, we're pretty much all stuck in this weird, it's like the whole world just kind of paused, like the earth hit the hard reset button, and we're all just stuck with a lot of time. And it's like, even if you work from home, you still have more time than what you normally would, because now it's like you work from home, so there's no more commute. So now I don't have to spend 20-30 minutes, some people might be an hour depending on where you work, making that drive to and from work. So now I have all of this extra time, and it's like, what do you do with all this time? Because some people aren't used to being alone, and even some people who are introverts and are used to being alone, because of the circumstances, your nerves might not really be at ease. Under a normal day, you're not worrying about a virus that's taking out a bunch of people. Like, you're just home chilling, not a worry in the world. So now you're forced to stay home under these crazy circumstances, so your nerves might not be as calm as they normally would. But like I said, two things can be true. So the balancing act. My advice would be, you got to do a little bit of everything. Unfortunately, when you have a lot of time to yourself, if you don't switch things up or find ways to kind of keep yourself busy, your days will just kind of run and just jumble into each other, and your mind, you might start to lose it a little bit. The days are just starting to blend together. You start not to know what's really going on. You get a lot of time to yourself, and which means you get a lot of time with your thoughts, which for a lot of people can be a bad thing, me included. Too much time just with my thoughts and me not doing anything can take you down some dark roads that you really don't want to travel down. You really shouldn't travel down. So to get back to the balancing act, I'm sorry, I didn't plan this episode, so I'm going to ramble kind of a lot. This is kind of off the cuff, but the balancing act. So what I've been trying to do, and I would encourage other people to do, like I said, two things can be true at the same time. You can spend, nobody knows how long we're going to be sheltered up and locked in a house, but you can spend time working really hard and not working really hard. For creatives who do have projects, I'm just going to try to touch on both sides of the spectrum. For creatives who do have projects and things to work on, don't feel obligated necessarily to work every minute of every single day. I've done that before, not even under a quarantine situation, just in regular life, where just every minute, every day, right. And it may seem good because you can get a lot done, but you are going to burn yourself out, and you are going to run you're gonna fall out. And when you fall out, it's going to take a while for you to get back up. You don't want to be in that spot. So what I would encourage creatives to do, you can work on your projects, definitely. You need time, you need things to pass the day. I know for a lot of us, like writing or whatever creative things you do, they make you feel better. You feel like you accomplished something, you did something. But I would say take a different approach, because now we got time, and we have to use this time wisely while we have it, because once life gets back to normal, all these free blocks of time we won't have anymore. So you want to make the best of this while you have it, even under the circumstances. What I've found that has helped is, if you're on lockdown, man, and you got projects to work on, this is the time to start planning. Plan. And this goes to creatives, this goes to your regular, everyday 9-to-5 people. If you got projects that you're currently working on, or you want to start working on, this is the perfect time to start getting some. Get yourself a little vision board. Get yourself some vision board, bullet points, whatever you got to do, man. This is the time to plot. This is the time to start scheming and figuring out what the next move is going to be. Unfortunately, you probably can't act on a lot of what you're going to do, because we can't really go anywhere. But I think this is a good time to get your steps in order, so that when we can finally start to move around outside again, get back in the free world, you can hit the ground running. Get yourself a little pen and paper, a journal, a sticky note. I don't care if you write on a Pringles can, like whatever you gotta write on. This is the time to really start jotting down what it is that you want to accomplish. This has actually helped me a ton. I have a little black book that I write in, keep my thoughts kind of organized, and I feel like when I actually physically take the time to write something down and slowly like plot out what it is I'm trying to do, I'm so much more effective at getting that task completed rather than me just kind of winging it and just kind of going off the cuff. I've been trying to use this quarantine time, and I would encourage other people to use this time to figure out how to work smarter, because you can work hard during the quarantine. Like, you can wake up every day and put yourself on a strict regimen, and from this time to this time I'm gonna do this, and from 6:30 to 7 I'm gonna do this, and then whatever it is you're working on. But working hard can only get you so far. You gotta work smart. Working hard will sharpen your craft. Working smart will get you some progress. A lot of people work hard and don't go anywhere. Now that you have time to sit down and think, plot, plan, scheme, get steps in order. If you're writing a book, jot some notes. What are the major events that need to happen in this book? How am I going to get from point A to point B? What are my plot points? What are my characters looking like? Do I have character profiles written down? Start planning out the little intricacies of whatever that project is that you're working on, so that when you do finally actually start to work on it, you'll get through it so much faster. Like I said, work smart, not hard. This is the time to figure out how to start working smart. Even if you're not a creative, maybe you're in a job that you don't like, you don't enjoy. I know a lot of people we are in that boat, in jobs that we don't really, we not really rocking with. Take some time out today. Try to plot out when things get back to normal, because they will get back to normal. What we gonna work? How am I gonna get out of here? What's the next step? Because there got to be a next step. You don't have to stay trapped forever. So now's the time to plot out your next move. What's another career path I'm interested in? What's another, what's something else that I want to do? Or maybe you work on your career so much, but you got a hobby on the side that you want to delve more into, because you want that to be more your main focus. I don't know, maybe you might be trying to start your own business. Now's the time to start plotting that out. What's the name of my business going to be? What kind of products am I going to have? You gotta start getting the X's and O's down. And that way, I feel like when you're working smarter, you don't work as hard. Because working hard, to me, is just all legwork. And like I said, you have to do legwork at some point. You can't dodge the legwork. But at some point, you gotta have some X's and O's written down, because if you're just doing legwork, you're just doing legwork. You can't go on the football field with no play. Even a Hail Mary where everybody just runs a straight route is still a play. Like, it's still something drawn up. You can't hike the ball and then everybody just go do their own thing. Like, there has to be their steps, there's a route. Everybody has something that we need to do to make this play work. Your individual goals and projects and whatever, it's the same thing, man. It's the same thing. So take this time to plot. Also, what you can do, maybe you don't, working on your own projects can be overwhelming. You spend the same day looking at the same thing in the face over and over again. I know that happens to me a lot. Sometimes I'll pull up my Word document and I'm like, bro, I don't even feel like I'm not even trying to deal with this today. And that's cool. But you might still want to work on something just to keep your mind busy. In that case, now is also the time to learn. You don't always have to necessarily be working to, I guess, quote unquote, make progress. Now might be the time for you to sit back and ingest some information. I've been thinking lately I might start taking, I've been looking up like master classes for writing. Anything I can do to find like to just some kind of inspiration, give me a new spark, give me a extra push. So like I said, maybe you don't want to work yourself to death, but just go learn something. Go. We still got the internet. Hopefully you got access to the internet. If you do, limitless information. So maybe you're working on something and you just need that extra push. You need that extra oomph to kind of get you over the hill. Now's the time to start researching. If you got a lot of extra time now, you can read, you can ingest information, however inspiration comes to you, whether it be you looking up your favorite author, your favorite director, your favorite whatever it is, and you need to ingest their work and dissect their work to get you some inspiration. Now's the time to do that. So if you're not actively working on something, take a break, go ingest some information, man. Go fill your brain up with everything you can while we have this free time. Go read all the books that you haven't read. Go watch all the movies that you haven't watched. Go, whatever it is that you pull information from, that you can do from the comfort of your home, which nowadays pretty much everything is digital. So everything is in some form online in some capacity. So ingest information, man. Fill your brain up, and then once you get that information, you get that inspiration hitting you, then you can go back to working on whatever it is that you were working on that you might have been stuck on, or whatever the case may be. So you have options. You do not have to just work. Like I said, find ways in this quarantine, find ways to work smarter. Just really take your time, and it's not a rush, it's not a race. We might be here a while, bro. Just take your time, just sit down and really methodically just kind of plan out what it is that you're trying to do. Because I'm pretty sure before Corona came around, a lot of people were working hard, myself included, and you might not have been you might not have been making the progress that you wanted to. Now's the time to sit down and analyze all the work that you've done thus far and try to pick apart, like, all right, what have I been doing up to this point that's been working? What have I done up to this point that has not been working? Maybe there's some habits I need to shed, something I need to change, something I need to rearrange. Like I said, man, X's and O's. Take notes, game plan. This is the time, man. This is the time, so that when this is all over and you can get back to work for real, you can hit the ground running. You can, and I promise you, it was because of therapy that I started doing this, of actually making a vision board. And I don't do it for anything crazy. Like, it's just like my writing goals. Like, what projects am I working on? What projects do I want to work on? I'm currently working on my book, Oddball Chronicles Volume 2. Volume 1 you can buy on Amazon for a very cheap price of 99 cents. $8.99 if you want a physical. Had to plug that in. But currently working on Volume 2. And some nights when I don't feel like working on Volume 2, and it happens, I open up my little black book. I'm like, what else do I want to write? And like I said, I don't put any pressure on myself. I don't need to sketch a whole outline of another book out. It's just bullet points, whatever it is I can think of. I just want to write this, and I'll put this in there, and eventually you'll connect enough dots and something will happen. And actually, really, most recently, I wasn't sure how it was going to end Oddball Chronicles Volume 2. So I sat down, I reread some old notes, added some new notes, and by the time I got done jotting my notes down, I had ideas for how I'm going to finish Volume 2 and already getting a head start on things that I can do for Volume 3. So like I said, when I hit the ground running with Volume 3, it shouldn't take me, I don't have the full thing planned out, but I can get the ball rolling quick because I've already been kind of taking some time to slowly plot this out, so that when the time does come that I can work on it, I'm already hitting the ground running. I don't have to waste time sitting around like, oh, what am I going to write? Like, I already got ideas for these first couple episodes. I can just kind of go. So like I said, man, this is the time really to strategize and get all your ducks in order, cross your T's, dot your I's, whatever you want to call it. This is that time, man. This is that time. Plot out what it is that you're trying to do, whatever those goals are, and slowly start working on them. You can work out too. I don't spend a lot of time on that. I'm not a fitness guru, but staying in the house a lot and like literally not moving and doing anything can definitely take a toll on you. You have to get up and be active in some sort of capacity. So I've also been using fitness as a way to kind of keep me busy, getting some push-ups in, working on my form, trying to get my form better. I'm really trying to use this time for self-improvement, kind of overall. And any little thing it is I want to work on, I'm using this quarantine time to work on, because now I have so much time now. Like, I get off of work and I don't have to spend 20 minutes driving home. I can go right and work out as soon as I get off, because I just clock out from home and I can just go over and just go work out. I don't have to waste time. So, like I said, as far as things that you can do, man, this is a great time for self-improvement. Like I said, you don't got to work hard and beat yourself up every day to get something done. But slowly just, plot out whatever it is you're trying to do, and then slowly just start working on it. And then on the other side of the spectrum, maybe you've been working hard all year. You've been going hard, trying to make it happen. And maybe this quarantine situation has not really motivated you to wanna work any harder than you already have been, or maybe due to the circumstances, you might be kind of worn out, because it's kind of a weird space we're in. I don't think any of us have ever really been in a situation like this, and it might be a lot to deal with, and that's cool. You don't, like I said, balancing act. You don't have to work every day. Like, I try to put myself on somewhat of a schedule. It's kind of a loose schedule, but I try to keep a mental note of, for example, maybe Sundays for me are normally kind of chill days, but I'll write a little bit, because Sundays I feel just kind of chill, kind of quiet. So Sunday, like, you know what, I'm gonna relax most of the day. Maybe for an hour block here I might write something, but I'm not going to pressure myself to really kick it into full gear today. Give yourself a mental break. We all need a mental break. And I struggle with this every day, where I guilt trip myself if I don't work on something. Bro, it's fine some days if you just wanna wake up. It's like, you know what, bro, I'm gonna just watch cartoons, or I'm gonna just watch Netflix all day. Hey man, there is nothing wrong with a mental health day. Sometimes a lot of us, that now more than ever, because we ain't supposed to be going outside, a lot of people, sometimes it is good to just chill out. Sit down, get you a little meal, get you a little drink, sit down, chill. You ain't going outside. We don't need to be outside around a bunch of people. Let's go chill out. Just chill out, man. Relax. Just relax. Take that mental health day. Maybe that's your Sunday. Monday, you might be feeling a little better. If you work from home Monday, a lot of us probably work. Luckily, I don't work Mondays, but I know a lot of people do. Monday blues, all that, so on and so forth. Maybe Monday you hit the ground running. I gotta work. I gotta work out. I gotta work on my craft. Maybe Monday you go in a little bit. Tuesday come around, you got some momentum going. I'm gonna work again. I'm gonna work out. Work from home. Work on my craft, whatever little adult stuff I gotta do, work. Maybe Wednesday comes around, you do the same thing. Now you might be worn out a little bit. Thursday come around, what you do? Chill out, relax. You're good. Like, you can do both. Thursday come around and you wake up. If you can look back at 2 other days in the week and be like, I work those days, you can take Thursday off. Can't nobody fire you from working on your craft. Well, I guess they could technically, but you get what I'm saying. Like, a lot of us, we ain't no big time authors. We just kind of work on this stuff in our leisure time. You can't be fired from leisure time. You ain't got no boss. You wake up and do what you want to do. If you want to chill out Thursday because you worked hard on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, bruh, sit down, put on some pajamas, cut on Netflix, whatever it is you like to do. Maybe you want to read a book, have some little quiet time, little woosah, little zen moment. Chill out. Chill. It's fine. It's fine. You can chill out, man. Like I said, a lot of these circumstances aren't normal. So some people might not want to work hard. Anxiety might be a little off. Energy might be a little off. It's fine to feel those feelings. It's fine to take time and recharge as much as you need to. I would just say if you're on that side of the spectrum, just don't let it consume you. Like if you find yourself kind of you're leaning too far towards that side where it just seems like every day you're kind of out of it, and you're not feeling like yourself. You might want to start leaning just a little bit. Like I said, you don't gotta rush. This ain't no race. This ain't no competition. Slowly start teetering towards the other side. Maybe you've been spending all week not doing nothing, cooped up, just not really being active, not really doing much of anything. And you might be kind of losing it. You might be kind of you're going off the deep end. You're going off the other side. If you're that far over, lean a little bit. Just lean a little bit more towards the center. And like I said, you don't got to do nothing crazy. You don't got to work yourself to death. You don't got to teeter all the way back to the other side, because like I said, social media will have you believe that two things can't be true at the same time. You don't have to just work or just sleep. Do both. But if you lean too far towards one side, just scoot back in the middle a little bit. So maybe you've been working all week, sleeping all week, not really doing nothing, but you're starting to feel down. That black cloud is there. It's hovering. It's raining a little too hard. Now might be the time, man. Go work on something. And then it don't even gotta be nothing crazy. You don't even have to work on your craft. That's the crazy part. Like you don't necessarily have to work. Everything you work on doesn't have to be towards some crazy goal that's supposed to change your life. It depends. It's different from person to person. Maybe you don't really have any crafts like that. You do something simple. It's like, I got this little puzzle thing that I bought a while ago, and I never finished it. Go do the little puzzle. I got a Rubik's Cube behind my TV, which I'm probably never gonna solve. Probably should do that one day. Go work on your Rubik's Cube. Just do something to just keep your mind occupied. Cause like I said, you can't stay with your thoughts forever. Not a good. I've done that before. It's not good. That road does not lead to. It can start off okay, having time to yourself, being able to think and have some quiet. But too long cooped up like that, it ain't. Like I said, man, you go to some bad places. You go to some bad places that you don't want to be in. So maybe like I said, lean more towards the middle. Go pick up a book. Go read something. Go learn something new. Like I said, I'm pretty sure there's something that you've been meaning to do or watch for a while, and you just didn't have the time. And now is the time to do whatever that little thing is. That'll keep you balanced a little more towards the middle, so you're not working too hard, but you're also not just sitting doing nothing. You gotta find that middle ground, because like I said, if you're being on either extreme is not a good thing. You can't relax too much, because eventually your mind ain't gonna be in the right place. And you can't work too hard, because you're gonna burn yourself out. And once you hit the burnout, it might be a while before you get back to work again, because you're not gonna feel like it. You're not gonna feel like it. I've done the burnout, and that not fun. not fun at all. So yeah, man, this is all a balancing act. this quarantine, I think, is just a good time to listen, man. The world hit a hard reset, and some of us may need to hit a hard reset too. This is a time to analyze everything that you got going on in your life, professionally, creatively, personally, spiritually, whatever it is. Take time to analyze, take time to refocus, recalibrate. Like I said, get you a little pen and paper, get some thoughts down, plan some things out, and then just start working. Slowly but surely. Like I said, not a race. You don't gotta run yourself in the ground. Slowly start working, and then by the time life gets back to normal, you can hit the ground running, and keep things going, keep the ball moving. So don't let the pressure of social media get to you. Don't let somebody tell you, oh, you gotta go hard 24/7 all day, every day. Forget the quarantine, time to work, let's go 100%. And chill out, yo. Sit down, chill out. I'm gonna work a little bit. I ain't gonna kill myself over here. And on the same token, don't let the other side tell you, don't do anything. Just sit down and, relax the entire time, and, just don't work on anything. Don't do anything. Like, you can do that for a little bit, but eventually you got to get up and do something. It's just a balancing act. You do a little bit this day, you do a little bit the next day, you take a break the next day. Maybe you take another break. And then you get back on the next day, do a little more, Next day, chill out. We all know our limits. Some of us can work harder than others. Some of us can work longer than others. Whatever it is your breaking point is. So when you feel like you're hitting the breaking point, no matter what side of the spectrum you're on, move accordingly. If you're working too hard and you feel the breaking point, slow down. If you haven't really been doing a lot of anything and you feel your mind's kind of getting a little too antsy, it's time for you to kind of refocus. You might want to start finding ways to keep your mind busy, keep the creative juices flowing. Get yourself some positive endorphins. Like I said, whether that be you gotta work out for a little bit to make yourself feel better, get you a little exercise high. I know that's been helping me a lot. Working out in the morning, giving me that exercise high for the day that I need. Whatever it may be. But regardless, I've said this 1,000 times and I'll keep saying it. It's quarantine, man. Just refocus, recalibrate, get your goals slowly in order, plot, plan, get them X's and O's down, and then work accordingly. And we're going to keep the ball rolling. That's all I got. Nearly 40 minutes. I've been talking for a while. Didn't plan on this episode to really be that long, but I tend to ramble. But I'm kind of hungry because I just worked out not long ago, and I have not eaten dinner yet, and I need to go do that. So I'm gonna go eat and probably lounge around. I've been writing a lot this week, so I'm probably gonna relax today. I've been writing and playing a lot of video games. Also, real quick, follow me on Twitch at Serial Sensei if you are a gamer. I've been streaming a lot lately because of all the time I've had. So I've been pretty active on Twitch. So if you want to watch me play some video games, you can definitely give me a follow on there. But yeah, man, that's all I got for today, man. Y'all stay safe. Please stay sanitized. Please stay clean. Don't panic. But stay inside, man. Stay inside. I don't want to see Governor Hogan on the screen again telling y'all to stay inside. Bro, y'all saw how he walked to that podium the other day. I wish Larry Hogan was black, so he just could have been like, I told y'all niggas. Yeah, all right, let me get out of here, man. Y'all be safe. Stay clean. Stay sanitized. I'm your host, Serial Sensei. This is a random episode of the Dojo Talk Podcast. Join me Saturday for our live stream of what will most likely be the K1 1999 Grand Prix. And that's all I got. So, until next time, I will catch you guys later. Peace.